Laurel Carmichael lived in Alachua County for more than 90 of her 100-plus years of her life. In that time, she contributed greatly and unselfishly to our community. She was truly a good person and the epitome of a good citizen. She was a woman who treated neighbors and strangers alike with kindness and respect. She was a tireless and unselfish volunteer who freely gave of her time and resources. Her efforts on behalf of Alachua County's first hospice home, our county libraries, the local arts community, and her church showed the generosity of her spirit. She will be missed. Last March, Laura Carmichael was profiled on Alachua County's Women's History Month special. Now we'd like to share that profile with you again.
Laura Carmichael has been Alachua County's unofficial ambassador of kindness and compassion for over 50 years now, and at the age of 100, she's still on the job. Her unexpected acts of goodwill have been finding their way into local mailboxes since 1952. It was then that she first began clipping flattering stories, wedding and engagement announcements, and other good news from the Gainesville Sun, and sending the happy articles to the subjects. Were this the only example of her thoughtful generosity, she would still be something special, but Carmichael has made generosity a way of life. Born in Altoona, Alabama in 1905, her family wisely moved to Gainesville in 1915, seeking warmer weather. Her mother was left legally blind after a case of the measles, but still raised her 3 daughters. Her father was a local shopkeeper. As a young woman, she attended Stetson University for 1 year before deciding to take a job at a local bank. She married James B. Carmichael in 1924, a Gainesville banker who would go on to serve as both mayor of Gainesville and clerk of the Alachua County Court. While her husband's professional and political career prospered, Carmichael continued to work as a bookkeeper and bank teller, retiring in 1966. Her husband passed away 3 years later. Carmichael has always found ways to serve others. As a Reverend Jerry Hayner once said of her, she seems to get lost in service, and because she does, she is very selfless. Hayner was at one time the pastor of the First Baptist Church at 425 West University Avenue. Carmichael has been a faithful member of that church for the last 90 years as one of the few members who can still remember the original First Baptist Church, where she was baptized at the age of 17. She began teaching Bible classes to children in 1924 and continued teaching the classes for the next 10 years. She has served on the church's mission and community ministry committee, and she's always been ready to contribute from her own finances to the church. But as parishioners assistant Joyce Ramsey recently told the Gainesville Sun, it's not only financial, it's emotional and encouraging support too. Over the years, Carmichael has donated generously to local libraries and art organizations. She is the past president of the Friends of Library. She has supported the Hippodrome State Theater since its founding in 1973 as both a donor and a subscriber. But the most impressive examples of her generosity are found in the time she has donated to others. She has volunteered over 27,500 hours as a Pink Lady with the Alachua General Hospital Auxiliary. She has worked in the surgical ward offering support and comfort to families while they waited for their loved ones to come out of surgery. She has also served on the Alachua General Hospital Board of Directors. Through her service on the Board of Directors, she has become involved with the creation of Hospice of North Central Florida. She has served on the Hospice Board of Directors and was essential to the project's completion, even traveling to India to study the origins of the hospice services. When financial contributions to the project were lagging, she donated her own home. Although parking was not spacious enough to allow the home to serve as a hospice, the property was sold to raise money for the project. She would later sell private stock to donate even more to the project. Now the Hospice of North Central Florida is a reality, and its garden is named Laura's Garden in Carmichael's honor. But to many, she is still known as the Clippings Lady. She began her hobby in 1952, after a perfect stranger sent her a clipping of her father's obituary. As she told the Gainesville Sun in 1976, "I thought that was the nicest thing," and since then she has been clipping some 300 articles a month from the paper and mailing them at her own expense to complete strangers, placing an emphasis on good news. She also includes a short note. Though she has talked about retiring from her clipping service, she isn't quite ready yet. She especially enjoys sending clippings to students who win the Kiwanis Citizen of the Month Award in the Gainesville Sun. And for the children, she also includes a crisp new $1 bill. She also loves to hear back from the children and remembers a recent winner who sent her a thank you note proclaiming, "That was the straightest $1 bill I've ever seen." In 1976, she received the Gainesville Sun's Community Service Award, and she has followed with more than 30 years of community service. At the time, her pastor, the Reverend Jerry Hayner, said she reminded him of the eulogy written for Thomas Jefferson. While millions of people worry and fret themselves into nameless graves, now and then some noble soul will forget himself, or herself in this case, into immortality.